What's up guys, and welcome to my channel Flame with a 4. In this video we're going to be doing stage 52, the cargo area floor, and we're going to merge it with stage 53, which is the simulation switch control panel and the oscilloscope. I'm hoping I said that right. So we're going to be doing two bits. First of all, we're going to do stage 52, and then we're going to move straight on to doing stage 53, because there isn't too much to do in this one, so I want to make sure that we've got a nice long video for you guys to see. I'm just going to take this out. I don't think I need to fast forward through, but this looks a lot like Lego. It's probably obviously trying to show off the sort of the floors that would be easily to sterilise. There you go. So it doesn't look like it's broken. It's quite a flimsy piece there, and I feel like it could break quite easily. And as you can see, there is a bit of a bow in it. So, but the packaging that they provided is pretty good. The screws that we'll get in there are LP screws, and there's 3 of those. So we're just going to pop them down here for a second. And then we'll just get the other screws as well. There is also NP screws. I'm not too sure how many NP screws there are. I'm going to keep the packaging with the screws just so we don't get them mixed up. And there is also DP screws here as well. So I'm just going to pop them down over there. And then we'll just get rid of this, making sure that everything has been taken out. Right, so the first thing it wants us to do, it wants us to make figure 8. We will need to go get a couple of bits from the last issue, so you need to go grab this cool thing. Remember how hard it was to get all these pipes to go around there and through those holes in the last issue? That was fun. So we need to connect that. You also will need this bit, which has now been upgraded with Mike Lane's carpets. So there you go. If you haven't got Mike Lane's carpets, be sure to go grab those by checking the links down below. The first thing it wants us to do though, guys, it wants us to attach this to create figure 8 with 4 DP screws. So what it's asking us to do is saying for it to go along the back here, along this side. So we need to just set it on there, and it will just sit into place and slots in really nicely, just like that, where the bench seat has got to go. So I'll just do it that way around so you can see. So we'll lift it back up again, and then we'll just pop it back down. And as you can see, it fits in really snug. And the good thing about it is they've made this section here black, so it just merges in really nicely. So as you can see, that there is black all the way around here, and then as that goes down and onto the build, it just blends in. Looks absolutely lovely. Right, the first thing it wants us to do, wants us to turn this upside down, which we will do. And then in the top here, we need to put 4 screws, so 4 DP screws, 1, 2, 3, 4 down in there. We're going to go ahead and quickly do that, guys. Once we've done that, we'll be back, and then we'll show you what it looks like when it's all together. So there you have it, guys. Those 4 screws are now in. So they're the 4 DP screws. I'm not too sure whether you'll be able to see them, but I'm just going to turn it around in the hopes that we can get the right light. So there are 2 screws that just go here. So 1 there and then 1 down there. The other 2 are right inside this panel here. So there's 1 there and 1 there inside there. I don't know if you can see them in there, but they're just far down in there. And they hold in this top section to create figure 8, turning it into what they call figure B. So this is figure B with those 2 attached. So now that them 2 are attached, what it wants us to do here is it wants us to attach on now this carpet section to make it even longer. So I don't even know whether I'm going to have to come back right back here to try and show you them together. But what it's asking us to do is to have these 2 bits connected on in place. So what we need to do now, we need to turn this around this way, because it's going to be on the big section here, and then we need to turn this up this way around, and then it's saying for that to go over the top like that, and then we need to screw these 2 pieces in together. There are quite a few screws that we need to put into this. That does sit over there quite nicely. And the screws that we need to use are NP. So it's a bit weird how they want us to do it. So they want NP here, one NP there. They want an NP in there, but they want an LP there. They want an NP there and then an LP there. So we'll put those in and then we'll show you what this looks like together. So we'll be back in just a moment once we've just figured out how they're all going to go together. So we'll be back in just a sec. Okay guys, I'm not convinced that them LP screws are doing much good, but I will just show you guys what's going on so you know. So LP in here and LP in there. And then you want the NP, one NP here, one NP there, one NP here, one NP there, and then one NP there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 NPs along that side. And then in here, the LP ones, I think because this is shallow, obviously they don't want that to come through the floor, so it's only just holding it. So that is why that is there like that. I'm just going to just scoop around and see what else we need to do. So just put it down. So this should look now like that as one piece, which looks pretty damn cool, to be fair. So just put all those around, put that down. So this is now joined as one section. I'll just see if they want us to do anything else. So that's all we need to do at that stage. But as you know, we're going to continue on because we're going to fit stage 53 into this as well. And there is quite a bit to do in stage 53 to build up a box to go on this. So I'm just going to pop this up out the way. And then we're going to grab stage 53, which is just over here. So this is stage 53. I'm going to get it out of the packaging. We're going to get all our pieces out, guys, and we'll be back as soon as we've done that. Okay guys, now that we've got all our pieces out, just make sure you check them all off. Make sure you got all of your pieces there, and then what we need to do is just move on to building it all up. So the first thing it wants us to do is to build up these sections. You need to make sure that everything is there. Make sure everything is checked off if you can. These things are so cool. Look at the detail in that section there. So it's great detail. I know that one of the modders is going to probably work on to making that work and actually be real life in a model. So be warned that, you know, we are going to have cool stuff coming for this model, so you may have to start taking it back to pieces again at some stage. The first thing we need to do, we need to grab this section which they call 53A, which is just there, and it should look like a kind of like a pegboard on the other side. What you need to do is you need to take this other section here, the one that's got the pegs in it, and you need to put that with 53B, and that just goes over the top and then slots into place. You need to make sure that all the pegs line up, and it does go around a certain way. So once you've got that in place, that should then look a little bit like that. So what you need to do here is all you need to do is put 2 EP screws in there to hold that into position. So I don't know if we need to fast forward through doing this, but you just need to put an EP screw in there, just tighten that up. That's just to hold that in place. And then what I'm going to do is grab another EP screw, put that down in this section here, and then go to tighten that up. And then just get that done up nice and tight. Don't do over tighten them, as I always say. And then that should be held together like that on the back. Should look like that. So there you go. So once you've done that, guys, what you need to do next is with the 2 screws facing lower to the bottom, you need to put on 2 brackets, and they're going to be the lower or the smaller brackets here. So there are 2 shaped brackets, a little tiny L bracket that looks like that, and then there is a bigger one that looks like that. So these little brackets here 53K are the bigger ones, and 53J are the smaller ones. So towards the bottom, with the lower two screws towards the bottom, you will need 53K, and they just go into there like so. And then what you need to do is you just need to pop a screw in each one. It's probably going to be a little bit fiddly. Pop a little screw in there. They are going to be KP screws. So see if I can get one of them in and see how difficult it is to do before we decide to fast forward through. See if we can do one. And if we do one, then we'll fast forward through, putting the other ones on, and then we'll just show you what it's supposed to look like once that's done. So there we go. So you just need to put it on so it looks like that. So that's what it looks like at the side and the other side. So continue to do that, putting the 53J smaller brackets there facing outwards, and then at the top we need to put the 53K using the KP screws to hold them all in. We're going to go ahead and do that and show you what that looks like once that's done. So there you have it, guys. That piece is now done and into place. So that you should have all the brackets looking like that, with the two taller ones along the top, and then you should have the two smaller ones towards the bottom, and then it should look like that from the front, this from the side. So as you can see, smaller ones at the bottom, bigger ones at the top, and then you want to do it so that the two screws there are closer to the top by the smaller brackets than they are closer to the longer ones. So once you've got that down, we just need to now move on to the next section. Right, so the next thing that it's asking us to do, just pop this to the side. We just need to take this one here. So we're going to be creating figure A. So we just need to start building on top of this. So we need two 53H's to go on the side just there. So 53H's are going to be these little control panels, and they are pretty much the same same sort of like design. So they should just look like that. And what you need to do, they need to go into these holes. There are little locating lugs. You just need to push them in the top there like that, and then the other one just goes in there like that. And I'll just show you then before we pop the screws in, and then it should look something like that using the locating lugs holding them in place. GP screws are going to be what hold those in, so we're just going to go ahead and put those in. They're very tiny little screws, quite fiddly, so we'll pop those in and we'll be back and show you what it looks like in a sec. So there you have it, guys. That's now done and into place. So you should have something that looks like that. So that's making figure A using the GP screws to hold that in place. You also have the 53H's, which are these two bits here with the dials on. And now all we need to do is we need to go ahead and create figure B, and that is going to be by putting this into place here. So I'm not too sure whether you can have this upside down or get this round the wrong way. I'm hoping that it's not round the wrong way, but that just slots into place like so. So if I just take that back out again, this is the piece that needs to go in. It just goes into there. Once it's in like that, we need to pop a couple of screws from behind just in here. As you can see, they just go in there, and they are going to be EP screws. So I'm going to go grab a couple of two EP screws. I'm going to pop those into place, and then we'll come back as soon as that is done. So there you have it, guys. That's now into place. So that is what you should have looking looking like at that stage. Look how cool that's looking now. Right, so underneath there are where the two screws go. So they are the EP screws. So there's one there and one there, and they're the two that hold that front place into position. So the next thing we got to do, we have to put on these little brackets here. It looks like these are not screwed in or anything. They look like they're just pushed into place. So we just need to push them on into the holes. I mean, if you want to be sure that they're going to stay in there, probably best to pop a little bit of super glue on from behind. But to be fair, I don't think you'll need it because they're quite a snug fit. So once you push them in, you should have something that looks like that. Look how cool that is looking now. It's looking really good. So much detail has gone into this. This is all plastic, guys, just in case you were wondering. After that, we need to put 53D. I'm not too sure whether they say what they are, but I'm pretty sure you can't really go too wrong in putting these in place. So what I want to do is just check on the left and right where they want it to go. So this one is left, so I'm going to pop that one in on the left hand side here, and they just slide into position. Just making sure that that goes in there well. After you've done that, guys, you do need to now take your cover, which looks a little bit like this, and then we need to put that into place. Again, you need to have this facing this way round. You need to have the smaller screws facing towards the back so that that's in place, and then it just goes in like so. And then once that's on there like that, as you can see, you need to just attach it with 4 IP screws going in the furthest away ones, not the middle. So IP screws in the furthest away ones. We're going to go pop those in and we'll come back once we've done that. Okay guys, that was nice and super easy to do. So then once you've done that, you should have a little box that's looking like this with the sides on, and they're how they have to go, and the bottom all now connected like that. Didn't that look cool? Right, so you know that piece that we made earlier, this one with all the dials and such on it, that now needs to be attached to our model. Okay guys, I'm just cutting in here on this video because I made this completely wrong, and I've only realized now getting into the next issue, so you guys can have a look. So your piece needs to look like this way round, and this is how the holes need to go. I did it so that that was covering up the one with the holes here, but when you get to the next issue, you won't be able to do that because they'll be covered up. So you need to have it so it looks like this. The front on this side, the parallel section needs to go on there, and then the taller bit at the top, so that when you get to the next issue, this piece will fit on. If you do it the way that I'm telling you in this one, this section will now not go into place. So it will if you just follow this guide and make it look so it looks like that. Alright guys, sorry about that, but this is how it goes. Over here. And I'm just going to grab this base so we could just recap on what we did. So we did the base, which was that section there. So that's now all attached. And then we did that control unit, which looks like that. How cool does that look? It's absolutely fantastic. Right guys, so this is what we are at the moment. I will have a quick look to see what we have up and coming. So in the next issue, in stage 54, we're going to do the BGM 340 guidance system. So that looks a little bit like that. So we're going to be doing that in the next issue. If you haven't already, please subscribe just by clicking down here. If you can, set the bell so you don't miss out on any more videos that are up and coming. And if you can give us a thumbs up if you like this video. If you're building this as well, please comment in the comment section down below. And I'm pretty sure someone has touched all these up with a Sharpie, as I mentioned. If they have, and there is a mod for this, I will come back to you guys and tell you. You'll know about it. So thanks for watching, and see you on the next one. Take care now. Bye bye.